Mic Drop Sports. Appreciate you all very, very much for diving in here on another episode, a Friday episode of the live show. We're back. And relax, Steelers fans. Just relax. There are a lot of options that a lot of us choose just not to see. And if the Pittsburgh Steelers do take a quarterback in the first round, what if they miss there? What does that mean for the franchise? And there's some older heads out there that are also still in the mix. Maybe a Joe Flacco, a Carson Wentz, a Drew Lock, many other people. Maybe that if the Aaron Rodgers thing doesn't work out, maybe they head that direction. Is that something that's wise of the Pittsburgh Steelers to take into consideration and do? And also, a couple Pittsburgh Steelers insiders are saying that the Pittsburgh Steelers are way more interested in drafting a guy like Genty instead of a quarterback in the first round, or instead of anybody else in the first round. So we're going to talk about a lot of that stuff here tonight on Steel City Live. If you're just joining us, if you're not watching it now, you can watch it later. But if you're just joining us, double tap that screen, hit that like button, and get us rolling here on Steel City Live. What's up, Za? Miss Pittsburgh. What's up, Mark Malone? Good to see you guys in the chat here early, man. It's Freaky Friday, my friends. What is up? Big JD in the house, man. You don't know how good it is, JD, getting you back in the chat, man. I appreciate that. Had to get that coffee, baby. We're ready to roll. Put your comments, questions, and concerns inside of the chat. As always, we'll do our best to answer as many of those as possible. Sugar Ray Robinson Jr., go Steelers. Hey, no problem, JD. No problem, my friend. I'm glad you're here, man. But yeah, there's a lot going on, man. And what did that move yesterday? I wanted to talk about that Russ to the Giants move and what that meant and how that sets maybe the rest of this market here moving forward. Russell Wilson really basically only getting about $10.5 million there fully guaranteed. So he could hit that incentive mark and reach $21.5 million. But how does that look now for the Steelers? Because Russell Wilson, let's be honest about that. There's some sort of information that was floating around Russell Wilson's camp that they were either all in on Aaron Rodgers and that there was a real big possibility that he was going to come to the Pittsburgh Steelers, or that the Steelers were absolutely not, no matter any circumstance, going to take him back. Because let's face the facts, my friends, he was dead set on waiting on the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I think that Russell Wilson signing yesterday or the day before, whatever day it was, to the New York Giants really showed a clear picture here of what is going to happen for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And again, I told you what I thought was going to happen, and we'll see if that all transpires and comes true, but we'll continue to wait on that. Let's go. What's up? Thank God. You Green, y'all don't want Rodgers. He's washed. I mean, he can still throw. Can he still run around? He ran a little bit yesterday, or not yesterday, last year rather. But yeah, is it my first choice? No, because I think there's a lot of other options, and we're going to talk about a lot of those. John Williams, what's up? TM2433. Let's delete that moron and report him to YouTube. There we go. Goodbye. American Militia, great channel you have. I enjoy tuning in. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, man. We appreciate having you, American Militia. Always, man. I appreciate all you guys that contribute to the show. I want to push those memberships tonight. If you don't got a Mic Drop Mafia membership, make sure you get one, 99 cents a month. And make sure you open up your gifts and make sure you allow gifts on to receive. Make sure you have your gifts turned on so that way you can receive any gifts that are thrown out your way. Jonathan Stevens, our future quarterback is in next year's draft. Let's poop the bed for a better quarterback. Just joking. We don't do that, period. But our future quarterback is definitely there, in my opinion. I see exactly what you're saying, Jonathan, and that could very well be. But guys, we have no idea how that draft class is going to look next year because we haven't got to see this college football season. So there could be injuries. There could be dramatic slides from players in terms of their play and things of that nature. There could be a lot of things that go on with that draft class. So I'm all for that next year thing. I think that that's the right move, in my personal opinion. But in real reality here, I don't think as an NFL football team that you can go that far in your planning. I think you got to stick with the 2025 year and attack it the best way you can. Whether that's getting somebody young in the building or not, we'll see. But here's the thing, guys. If you take a quarterback at 21, say Jackson Dart, Shedeur Sanders, say somebody is there that you are highly confident in that you can take at 21. Say that quarterback's there. What if you take that player as the Pittsburgh Steelers? You take a quarterback in round 1. What if you miss? Does that set your franchise back in a major way? I think the drafting of Kenny Pickett set the franchise back a little bit. I do think that. So does that happen again in 2025? If you take that quarterback and you miss, now what do? And guys, let's be honest, it takes a little bit of time to know that you fully missed. That's troublesome. And then you ask, hey, maybe if we take one in 3rd round or 4th round, that's when we got our next round of picks coming here, unless we make some sort of deal to get a 2nd round pick. But reality, you have a 3rd round pick. What if you take a quarterback there? What if a Tyler Shuck is available or a Will Howard is available at that time? What if you took a quarterback in the 3rd round? Is that less detrimental if you miss there? Does that not set your franchise back as far if you miss there? Does that not put the expectations on that young quarterback as opposed to being drafted in the 1st round? Maybe it's a blessing to be drafted middle to later rounds of the NFL draft if you're a quarterback that has some talent that could possibly blossom, because the expectations are a lot lower for you. You're not carrying the weight of a franchise. And let's face the facts. People can say, oh, the Steelers are this or that, but the next guy that comes in that's young is going to have the weight of the Pittsburgh Steelers franchise on their shoulders. And let's be real honest now, guys. That's a heavy burden to carry for any young quarterback, specifically coming to the Pittsburgh Steelers, because the Pittsburgh Steelers are a worldwide brand. They are a cornerstone franchise of the NFL. And that alone puts tremendous pressure onto a quarterback, especially a young quarterback. And there isn't many people out there that can do that. There isn't many people out there that can shelter the blame or shoulder the blame, my friends. Hey, Zah, I'm going to add you. Oh, shit. Zah, sorry. Zah, I didn't mean to do that. I put you in timeout for 10 seconds. Make another, I accidentally did that, Zah. Make sure you put another comment in there in like 2 seconds here. I wanted to add you to help TD. Oh my God. I just got splashed in the face with hot coffee on a live show. All right, Zah, you're back. There we go. I'm going to put you as a moderator, Zah, so you can help TD in there. TD's in there a good bit. Sean's usually working during this time, so it's hard for him to do some of this stuff. So I put you in there so you can help out TD, because I know you're in the chat hot and heavy. Just, you can let people talk shit, only take away like crazy stuff, and TD will help you if you need to, man. Appreciate you, TD. All right, guys, I just wanted to do that real quick. Sorry, I needed to take care of a little business. If you're just joining us, make sure you're double tapping that screen, hitting that like button, sending us out into the YouTube algorithm. Also, a couple of those, like I said, so-called insiders of the Pittsburgh Steelers, guys around the team, Mark Cabali and Mike DeFabo, were the two guys that talked about that they're really saying that the Pittsburgh Steelers are really leaning toward a running back. Is that a wise choice? Have you not learned your lesson with the Najee Harris drafting in the 1st round? Maybe you could get somebody a little bit deeper in the draft, you know? I feel like those guys from Ohio State might be around a little bit later, you know? I don't think Amarion Hampton or Ashton Genty will be around in the later rounds, but, you know, it is what it is. Holy shit, guys. Are we apologetic tonight? I am like literally dropping everything, knocking everything over. Almost knocked over my coffee. I splashed coffee in my face. My apologies, my friends. I am so sorry about that. I feel like I'm being very unprofessional today. But hey, it's live. You're going to have those things happen, man. Apologies, apologies, apologies. Damn, man. I'm like out of sorts here today. It is absolutely crazy. I just wanted to bring up my things that I have here on the list here. But you're looking at some of these. I wanted to bring up running backs just to see, because when we were talking about that, you're looking at Ashton Genty, Amarion Hampton, Caleb Johnson. Those are your top three in the terms of rankings. Then you got Travion Henderson, Dylan Sampson. I like Quinshawn Judkins. I think he fits real well with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I like him. He's a guy that's going to immediately impact your football team, in my opinion. I think he's a guy that can step right in. I think he would work really, really well with Gainwell and Jaylen Warren. I think that would be a nice backfield, a nice trio that I think you could have a lot of versatility with and not have to spend a first-round high-value pick on him. Now, maybe Quinshawn Judkins is gone in the second round, but maybe then there's guys like Devin Neal. I like him. Scadaboo is a guy that I wouldn't mind drafting either. You know what I mean? So I think there are some options there, guys. I don't think you have to go after these top four guys that are going to be gone for sure within the first round and a half, in my opinion. Those guys will all be off the board probably in a round and a half. You know what I mean? Leaning toward that back half. So I think third round, you could get one of these guys like a Scadaboo, a guy like a Devin Neal. I don't know about Quinshawn Judkins. We'd have to see. But, man, I think that it would be imperative for the Steelers to really try to do the things I think that are real right here. And that's the defensive front, guys. Yeah, I think that's where you got to go. And I've leaned toward that all year, man. You got Mason Graham. That'd be somebody that's going to be gone real early. Stewart from A&M, he's going to be gone real early. Maybe a Walter Nolan. Maybe he's around at 21 from Ole Miss. Is he a fit? I think he's a guy that can step in and provide some immediate impact also, man. He's more of a three technique type guy. So, yeah, I think he would fit. Man. I think he would be somebody along with Kenneth Grant, another guy I have listed here, who I think would be really, really a guy that has a lot more of a raw talent to him. So we'll see what Kenneth Grant can get done. But I think maybe one of those two players would be available to you at 21. I think you could get one of those guys. And I hear a lot of people talking about offensive line. Guys, I'm not into the offensive tackle position this year in the draft, especially in round one. Now, I'm all for it later in the draft. You could use some guys down that way. But these guys nobody really got that length that you need to be a real tackle in the NFL at a high level, in my opinion. Now, I'm not saying none of them will pan out to be really good, because that's probably not true. There will definitely be somebody. But I think if you're talking about first-round talent, I'm not sure if there's enough of those types of guys that I'd be willing to risk that. So that's why I really think defensive line is the way to go, man. The running back thing we talked about, I don't think that's a first round thing that you should be doing. Wide receiver, I think there's a ton of wide receivers, so I think you could get that done somewhere. Man, you know who else I really liked today that I was watching when I brought up wide receivers? Was a guy like Isaiah Bond from Texas, man. I really like him, man. That would be somebody that might be interesting to get. I really think, honestly, too, the Steelers got so many options here, guys. You're talking about quarterback. You're talking about defensive front. You're talking about all those things. Man, this is a shitty year not to have a second-round pick, but DK Metcalf's probably better than anybody you're going to get there. I just don't know if quarterback in the first round's the way to go. I really think that there's going to be some people. I mean, you got Quinn Ewers that's ranked way higher than guys like Will Howard and shit. Leave it there, Jackson. You really came in for that? My son just came in to ask me where he should put his bowl of noodles that he didn't finish eating. You can't make this shit up, my friends. You just can't make this shit up. Gotta love the kids, man. Gotta love the kids. So he interrupts for that. But that's okay. I thought it was an emergency. When that door opens, I usually think that it's something that really means something. So we've had a camera get knocked over. We've had coffee splashed in my face. I almost knocked over my coffee. And we had my son interrupt. So this is a crazy day here on Steel City Live. But anyway, guys, we're going to get to your chats. Again, I want you guys to just soak some of this in. Here's one site that I just brought up that has Jalen Milroe ranked as the 5th best quarterback prospect in this draft, ahead of guys like Tyler Shuck, guys ahead of Dylan Gabriel, who I think is way better than Jalen Milroe. Will Howard, I don't know. They're kind of the same player to me. They're about the same. I think Will Howard's a little bit better because he's a little bit taller. I'm looking for a more tall guy. When I'm looking at a quarterback for the NFL, guys, I want a guy that is 6'3 plus. I don't want anybody shorter than that if I'm talking NFL quarterback. We're going to talk about something else, too. I want to know about how you think this current NFL landscape sits in terms of how they all handle the quarterback situation now. Are they able to bring quarterbacks along still? Do they still have, as the NFL as a whole, do they still have the desire to cultivate a quarterback and mold a quarterback into somebody that they want? Or are they looking for a refined product that they can plug and play? Is that more the answer now, where maybe back in the day you saw players, speaking of Aaron Rodgers, you saw players like him even sit the bench for a while. You saw those guys get developed. You saw them learn. You saw them cultivate their talents a little bit. You don't see that as much in the NFL anymore. You're looking at guys that are plug and play, RPO, go with it. Run your ass off and throw it here and there. That's what you're kind of looking at right now, and I don't know if that's the right thing. I don't know. I don't know. It's just weird how it's changed. You know what I mean? Let's get to the chat real quick. We'll go through those quarterback rankings again. His current talent doesn't match his attitude, man. It could be frustrating next year. So I think y'all could grab a guy next year. Where are we at, guys? Sorry. We're going to skip around in the chat a little bit. TD just got in and saw that. Thanks, TD, brother. I got you D's in there too. He could help you if you need be. Za got some moderator stuff now too. So there's like 3 of you in there now. I figure that's good. There's D. We got Challenger. I haven't seen him for a while, but he's probably taking a football break. Sean. So yeah, we got a good bit now. Armand, I hope Pittsburgh does not give up 4 compensatory picks and say number 1 to guess on a quarterback in 2026. Pittsburgh needs all of those picks to build a real football team. Pittsburgh drafting very poor last 12 years. Pittsburgh's an old team. Yeah, I mean, we've talked about that. We've talked about the draft. We've talked about Kevin Colbert and all of his things, guys. When I look at the draft as a whole inside of the AFC North, we'll take the AFC North division. The Pittsburgh Steelers have probably hit on more guys over the years, but yeah, it's just been slim pickings as of late. It really does. You really are starting to feel like since we won't talk about Fautanu and Broderick Jones yet, guys, because we don't know if they're going to be busts or not. I don't think Fautanu is. And Broderick Jones, I think, will have a real redemption year here in 2025. So I don't want you guys to panic about Broderick Jones like many people are. You know, all the people out there that know everything in the world instantly are going to write off Broderick Jones because he had one poor campaign. Like this guy just totally forgot how to play football at a high level, which is untrue. The guy had a rough year. He went through a rough patch. It's life. It happens. It's football. It happens. You're not going to be the best there is all the time, every damn year. The greatest of the great have down years, guys. And I'm not going to write a guy off that showed tremendous promise, that showed tremendous physical attributes, tremendous strength, just tremendous fight. And a guy like Broderick Jones that they had high hopes for. They moved up 3 spots inside of the NFL draft to grab Broderick Jones ahead of the Jets. And I don't think that was for nothing. I think that the Steelers knew and still know exactly what they have in Broderick Jones. And I want you all to just take a deep breath when it comes to Broderick Jones and realize that he'll be just fine, my friends. But again, guys, there are tons of options. And if you're going to go with Mason Rudolph and a young guy, you're going to be just fine. You're going to be. You are going to be exactly what you've had over the last decade. And we've dealt with it for this long, so you're fine. And again, we don't know what the 2026 draft is going to be just yet. We know it's going to be better. At least we have that feeling it's going to be better. We can't predict that future just yet. But as far as the 2025 draft goes, there are some ball players in there, guys. There are going to be some guys that come out of the quarterback class of 2025 that are going to succeed in a big way. There are going to be guys in this draft class that hoist Lombardi trophies. I'm telling you. And I believe one of them to be Tyler Shuck. I do. And I know nobody wants to hear it. But 3 years from now, when he's on posters in kids' rooms, then we'll revisit this. But it is what it is. Let's keep going. D, I would hate to be a quarterback for the Steelers. You're either Big Ben or you are terrible. I don't know, and I think that's just because we're all salty over how Mason got treated before. Now that he's back, hopefully it's a different outcome, but it doesn't appear to be. I think, again, I'm leaving this all into my Lord and Savior's hands, into God's hands, because I think he put Mason in this situation and brought Mason back into this situation for success. I believe that this is part of Mason's story. I believe this is part of the story that God has laid out for Mason Rudolph, and I know that may not be cool to some people or whatever, but I'm never going to deny my faith or deny my beliefs in front of people just for the sake of being cool or look cool in front of people. And I believe this to be the plan, man. I have tremendous faith in that. And I think that Mason Rudolph was brought back here for a reason. And I think his plan is going to start to be executed. And even if somebody is brought in front of him, I think Mason Rudolph will see action, and I think he will be able to start to show what he is all about, and I really have high hopes in it for him, and I'm so sick of everybody just beating the guy down. There's not enough out there to beat this guy down over. I feel like there's enough, though, to say that there is an upside with him. Now, he's starting to get up in age. That's an issue. Now, the chance got to come soon, man, for Mason to really be able to blossom. So, fingers crossed. I would love to see nothing more than Mason really get to take that chance, take that step. And again, I'm a man of faith. I'm a man of God. And I'm always going to believe in God's plan. And God has one for each one of us. And whether you want to believe that or not, that's okay. That's your business. But I believe and a higher being, somebody that guides us and somebody that changes things for us and continues. Even though you may not like the outcome sometimes, I feel like that plan is setting forth and it all works out in the end, and everything always works out in the end, my friends. That's why you should never get overly critical or overly crazy about any one situation, because everything does work out, guys. It always has a way of shaking itself out. You always find yourself getting over whatever it is that's troubling you. Let's keep going here. Running back is okay, but first round, y'all should draft Will Johnson. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. There's a lot of options. We're going to talk about a Mark Malone. We'll do you, Green. How do you feel about drafting Will Johnson in the first round and Judkins in the second? They don't have a second round pick. So, it's hard to say. You can't. Judkins, is he going to be available in the third? That's their second pick, so we don't know. Mark Malone, we're going to be able to get a good one for sure, but man, if Genty fell to 21, you got to run to the podium. I would be down for Genty. I'd be down for a generational talent. If a Genty or an Amarion Hampton are available at 21, you go get them. And I'm cool with that, guys. They're great. They're going to be great. Excuse me. And guys like that don't come around all the time. You know what I mean? But as far as if those guys aren't available, you wait. You try to wait to the third or fourth round and try to get hopefully a Judkins or somebody's there that you could take, a Scattaboo, somebody that you know is going to be a high energy player with tremendous upside that quite possibly might be able to come in and ring that fucking bell a couple times, my friends. That's what you're looking for. Mason needs to start. Craig Werlo wouldn't mind moving back in the first round, pick up a second and in first, get a D lineman. Let's talk about that real quick, Craig. Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you, Daniel Warman. I'll talk to you guys in 1 second, but I'm going to address Craig's real quick here because I think Craig brings up an interesting point that a lot of Steelers fans need to take into consideration. When you look at the Steelers over the course of the draft history of the Steelers, they don't typically trade up and move back a ton. They trade up far more than they trade back, no doubt about that. But as far as trading back, that's not a normal stance the Steelers take. But perhaps now that Omar Khan is the general manager, this is the dawning of a new era for the Pittsburgh Steelers to do things that aren't very Steelers-like. And perhaps maybe Omar Khan does realize the urgency in some critical positions that maybe having a second-round pick is extremely valuable for Omar. And here's the real kicker, though. If you're going to get somebody that's going to allow you to trade back, you got to see the teams around you. You got to see the team in front of you, directly in front of you or a couple in front of you, like 2 or 3 in front of you. You got to start to look at those teams, and you got to start to look and see who is their biggest rival. Who are the people that they need the most? What positions do they need the most? And then you need to look for people that aren't so far behind you and look at their positional needs and say to yourself, does anybody have similar needs? Does anybody have similar paths in this draft that they want to take? Are they going to reach for anybody here? Let's see. And we're going to match those teams up, and then we're going to try to create a trade. That's how you do that. But are the Steelers willing to do it? I don't know. But I don't think trading back would be a bad idea. I think it would be something that actually works. And I think the Steelers could benefit from that. Grabbing a second-round pick, maybe you get your running back there. Maybe you still have a defensive front guy that you can take farther back in the round one. Maybe you're picking now about 28, 27. Maybe a guy like a Nolan still there from Ole Miss. You take him. Maybe that works out. Maybe then in round 2, maybe now you'll have the opportunity at a Tyler Shuck or, one of the other running backs that are of a little higher status, Maybe one of those guys are still available there. Then maybe you take your pick there and weigh it out and say, which one of these 2 players has the chance to still be there in round 3? That would be the question you have to ask yourself. So, we'll see, man. Daniel Warman, Jackson Dart is the gem of the draft. He could quite possibly be, man. He could quite possibly be. Jackson Dart, my friends, does have a pre-draft visit scheduled with the Pittsburgh Steelers. You take that for whatever it is. It is what it is. So did Tyler Shuck. Tyler Shuck has a pre-draft or had a pre-draft meeting with the Steelers also. You also had guys like Will Howard spoke to the Steelers at the Combine. We're starting to get the feelers, though. We're starting to get a little bit clearer of a picture of maybe possibly where the Pittsburgh Steelers mind frame is right now on which direction to go. And I think there's a lot of options. And that's why I keep saying to Steeler fans, do not panic. Your team is fine, man. This team is in a better position than it has been in a long time. And I'm not just saying that to say it. And I understand that the quarterback situation is a little bit muddy for some of you out there in Steelers Nation. I understand that. But I don't think the quarterback situation is as muddy as the media is making it. I don't think it's as muddy as a lot of the fans are making it. I believe in Mason Rudolph to be able to win 10 games in the NFL. I believe Mason Rudolph can be highly competitive inside of the AFC North. I believe Mason Rudolph can get the job done for $8 million over 2 seasons. I believe Mason Rudolph is an excellent mentor for a young player coming in out of the draft. I believe all those things, guys. Maybe a lot of you don't, but I do. And I'm not going to come off of it. I'm not. Craig, I guess things are starting to heat up with Cousins to the Browns. Jackson, please stop coming in here, my friend. Sorry, my kid interrupted me for the second time today. Craig, I guess things are starting to heat up with Cousins to the Browns. That might happen, man. If I'm the Steelers, I don't have interest in Kirk Cousins. The salary's far too high for a guy that's coming off an Achilles injury also. That's why I'm not a big Aaron Rodgers fan, man. That Achilles shit scares the shit out of me, man. That's an injury that's difficult. Very, very difficult, guys. Zach Curry, did you see the defensive lineman who weighs 480 pounds? No, I did not. Let's be honest real quick, guys. Anybody that weighs 480 pounds, they are not going to be able to sustain that. They are not going to be able to play at a fast enough level to play at the NFL level. There's just no way. Absolutely no way. 480 pounds. I mean, honestly, to weigh that much and to be able to still be athletic, you would have to be like 8'6" to carry 480 pounds and have an athletic type prowess to you. You Green, least he cares about your approval. I'm not sure what you're talking about, man. Miss Pittsburgh, wave that terrible towel for Miss P. Phantom X1. Most teams look for plug and play win now, guys. Yeah, and I don't know if that's the right way to go, guys, especially with these dumbed-down RPO offenses, man. If any team ever really smartened up, oh, wait, yeah, they're called the Kansas City Chiefs. They run a little bit more complex system than just RPO bullshit. That's why they win a lot, any of these teams would get a little bit smarter and start to play the game here and figure out, like, look, man, we got to start to develop one of these young guys. We got to make them a pocket passer. We got to make this offensive system highly complex. We got to start getting guys in here that are going to get a lot of reps together, that are going to get really, really good at this shit and take our lumps and allow this young guy to come in here, start, and stay starting and not panic and not hit the panic button immediately once they start to lose. And understand that reps are the key for these players to all get better together, man. And until the Steelers or any franchise, until you wake up and realize some of these real hard truths, you're never going to reach the mountaintop, man. You're just not going to. Sleeping Lady, it all depends on how those top 10 picks go. Good quarterback prospects may still be there at 21, but if they're riding a bench for a year, then it would seem like a wasted pick in the first. Would it though? And I see exactly what Sleeping Lady's saying, because now in today's NFL, it's not like Aaron Rodgers sat the bench for how many years? You know what I mean? Many guys sat the bench for years. There's been several players that have been really, really good that didn't play right away. Is that the right answer? Is that the wrong answer? We don't. It is what it is. You've seen it work both ways. But in today's NFL, it's all about plugging and playing. And I can see why Sleeping Lady said that might be a waste of a first-round pick. Because you're not getting instant gratification. You're not getting instant production from that player. I could get it. I don't think so. I think that is more the answer now. They want more game-ready quarterbacks. Maybe, man. Love sat there for 3 years, so depends on... Yeah, Jordan Love, another one that sat there behind Aaron Rodgers for 3 years. Daniel Warman, it feels to me these NFL players are about me and not so much about the team. Well, yeah, they're looking for their money, man. It's all about that money. And it's different. Guys, when we talked about Mel Blount the other night, and you look at what those players made in terms of what these players made or make today, and you look at how the game was back then, and you look about how they all carried themselves and what their main priorities was. It was all about team. It was all about protecting your brother out there and going to war with your brother. And it was all about it wasn't about those selfish things at all. Some players here and there, you get that, here and there. But for the majority, that era of players were team players. That's what they cared about. They were living their dream. It wasn't all about money for them. It was about winning championships. It was about building legacies. That's what it was about for them. In today's world, it's grab as much money as you can, as fast as you can inside of the NFL, because you know you're not going to be there long, and you know if you don't win right away, you're not going to be kept around. They're not going to give you a chance to grow. You're not getting any of those opportunities, and you better get as much money as you can now to build that wealth for your family moving forward. Do I blame guys for that? No. Because the NFL is so fast-paced now, such a high turnover, it's hard to develop anybody. It's hard to give anybody a chance for years. It's hard to follow that old Steeler way. It is. It really, really, truly is. And, we all want the Steelers to go back to the Steeler way of the 70s, and being that team that's all about team, all about homegrown, developing your own talent. We want that. But sometimes in today's NFL, that doesn't work out. It just doesn't work out. All right, guys, I'm going to jump around the chat a little bit. Let's keep going. You're so right about Mason. That's from Daniel Warman. Aiden Booth. Is it me or Cam Scattaboo is a big sleeper? I think he's somebody that could come and plug and play, man. Robert Rhodes. Scattaboo ran a 4.6540 yesterday in a private workout for NFL teams. He did have a vertical of 39.5 inches, but his 40 was pretty slow. Yeah, I can get on board with all the times, all those stats like that. I can get on board with it, and I think it does have some value. But I want to see a guy play football. There's a difference, guys. And again, even a lot of you out there, and I even know myself, there's a different gear. There's a different speed from in-game speed to running track and field events. You know what I mean? And I can see, though, when Robert puts 4.6540, that's concerning. No doubt about it. No doubt about it, that's concerning. But I got to turn on that tape, and I got to see how he fares against good talent, college-level talent. And would he be worth, if you like what you see on the tape, and he's around in the 5th round or something, I think it's worth a look-see. You know what I mean? But I can see the concerns. I can see the concerns. Though, Robert, the 40 to me doesn't mean as much. And I'm going to say this why. Because for a running back, I don't think a 40 means as much. That's top-end speed, right? What I am looking for the most out of my running backs is that initial burst. So what drills could you run that you could see that burst and see that acceleration, that quick change of pace, that quick cut move? 3-cone maybe? Maybe that's it. You want to see drills and you want to see times from those drills that are get to a point and cut and move and go. Change of direction. So you're looking for change of direction drills. That's what you want to see. That's where you want to see good things from your running back position. I think that matters more than anything, because where does a running back have their bread buttered? It's that initial cut and get through that hole. You know what I mean? That's that initial burst. How quick is that initial burst? How quickly can they get up to that speed? That I think means more. That, in my opinion, if I'm evaluating running backs, guys, that's the type of stuff I want to see. I want to be able to see that quick acceleration, and I want to see the ability to change and move and change pace and quickly get in and out of breaks. That's what I want to see from the running backs. Get those cuts. Word, North Side, Jacksonia Street. What's up, Pittsburgh 412? It's Doe. I'm born and raised on the north side of Pittsburgh and was able to walk to the fields. Wow, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. Tim Mantu, who are the interviewees? There's a ton. You get a top 30. You get a bunch of visits. Some of those could be considered local visits. So maybe somebody from Ohio State could even be considered local. It's just a certain thing. I don't know the exact parameters on there. Let's keep going here. Rogers, and we start Mason. I see us leading the division, if not second place. Definitely going to be the playoffs. That's from Za. JB, so why don't we just go for Quinn Ewers? I don't know. I don't know if he's that guy. I mean, if he's there in your later rounds, and yeah, maybe. I don't think he'd be like horrible to take. You know what I mean? All right, guys, let's double tap that screen. It's been a disaster show for me, man. Not for you guys. You guys have had good comments, but man, I've knocked the camera over. My sons came in twice, interrupted us. I almost knocked drinks over. I spilled coffee in my face, but we're still here grinding on Steel City Live. Super chats are always open, and don't forget, let's get those Mic Drop Mafia memberships up. We are at 70 paid members, guys. How awesome is that? So 70 paid members. We're almost to 100 paid Mic Drop Mafia members. So I want to make a big push for that. It's 99 cents a month. It will always be 99 cents a month. And it gets you involved in things like this. Giveaways. This is a TJ Watt signed authentic Nike jersey. That is signed by TJ Watt himself. That will get you an opportunity to win that jersey. When we hit 10,000 subscribers, we'll be auctioning that off or raffling that off, and one lucky Mic Drop Mafia member will have a chance to win that. And you could get that for 99 cents a month. Also, make sure you have your gifts turned on also. Arch Manning is overrated. I think you're wrong there, JB. I don't know how you could even say he's going to be like Tebow when he gets to the NFL. Have you seen that dude throw, JB? Have you watched any of his tape? I mean, honestly, man, I think you're way off. Honestly, tell me you don't watch football without telling me you don't watch football. And I'm not trying to dog you, JB. Buddy, I watch tons of him, man. I just think you're wrong, JB. Respectfully. I'm not trying to dog you. I don't think you know what you're looking at, man. It is what it is, man. You could be a Texas fan all you want, but to say that about Arch Manning, I just don't know what you're looking at. I really, truly don't. I have no idea what you're looking at. And I'm not trying to dog you, man. Gorgie Vibe, have you seen him play? He had an arm in his accurate deep passer. You talking about Arch? What's up, Russ? What's up, Jason in chat? Jason, I have to email you my phone. Got wiped out, lost my 10-month status. You got it back for me before when it happened. Yeah, you got to get your old YouTube log back in. It wouldn't give you your status back to log it into a new account. So we've got to get your old YouTube account back on. And all you got to do is, Russ, just whatever email you used to go on there, email me, Russ, and I'll tell you about it, buddy. We'll get it figured out. We'll get you lined back up, bro. So just email me, Russ. We'll get it done, man. Hope you're doing well over that too, man. Prayers. That's why I said I noticed you were on a different account, so we'll get you back on there, man. We'll get your old account back on your phone. I'll tell you how to do it. Pittsburgh 412, you don't sleep on any Manning. It's in the genes. I think Arch will be somewhere between his uncles as far as a career. 4 generations of dogs. Yeah, I mean, you even take out all that. His performances and what he is able to do. Some of those passes to Isaiah Bond and some of the passes that he's done there in Texas already in his short time there have been absolutely stunning, man. Eli was ass, only won a ring due to their defense. He won 2 rings, though, buddy. He beat Tom Brady. That's all that matters in the NFL, JB. You know what I mean? Stop it, dude. Only 2 good Mannings, Eli and his daddy. You just said Eli was ass. Defense won Peyton championships too. I mean, I'm just saying he won one with two different teams. He won one with the Colts. He won one with the Broncos. Eli beat Tom Brady twice in the Super Bowl with come-from-behind drives. I mean, what more do you want? Because when you're talking about the NFL, JB, it's not about all your stats. It's about one stat, and that's how many Lombardi trophies you get to kiss, how many times that confetti rains down on you. That's the only thing that matters. That's the only stat that matters. Anything else that you talk about is worthless to talk about because it doesn't mean anything. Because there's only one thing that matters, and that's championship football. You know what I mean? And they're all the Mannings except for Arch are Hall of Famers. Well, are going to be. Matt Burton, I thought Eli was a first ballot Hall of Famer. Surprised he didn't get in. No, he didn't get in. I think he will eventually. I mean, the guy had won 2 Super Bowls. Yeah, they said the same thing about Russ during his. Yeah, Russ is a Super Bowl champion. You can't take that away from him. Pittsburgh 412, organization failures, my guy. Stop it. Which one are we talking about? Pittsburgh 412. Not sure what we were talking about. Oh, we're talking about me. Doug P. Stats don't win championships. Nah, they don't. Zach Curry, Eli stopped Brady 2 different times. Once when the Patriots went 19-0, not losing a game until the Super Bowl. Brady lost the Super Bowl that year. Tino, quit talking when they last time y'all won a playoff game. Tino, what are you talking about? Quit talking when the last time y'all won a playoff game. What are you talking about? The Steelers? What would make you even say that? Who was talking about anything? When did we just bring up anything about the Steelers winning shit? We didn't say shit. I understand the Pittsburgh Steelers deficiencies. I understand when the last time they won a playoff game painfully, Tino. Painfully, I'm aware, my friend. You're not telling me. So when you say quit talking, what do you mean quit talking? I don't understand that. You don't got anything constructive and more intelligent to say? You got to come at me with something better than that, man. I mean, you can't even formulate a sentence, and you're going to tell me to quit talking? I mean, you got to come at me better, man. I'm just saying, Tino, you got to come at me a little bit better than that, my friend. And again, I ain't dogging people. When I jump on you here, I ain't dogging you. I'm just telling you. Just giving truths, man. He didn't get in because he isn't badass. LOL, he was some dude who couldn't win a championship on his back on Strahan won it for him. I just think you're just trying to stir the pot, JB. It's all right, man. Some people were like that. There's a lot of fans that are just like, no matter what's done, no matter what a player does, no matter what a team does, no matter nothing, that once they target somebody to talk shit on, they're going to go hard. And that's how some fans are. I mean, if that makes them happy, so be it. Cool. I don't care. Do you, man? Which is better, American football or rugby? American football, bro. Come on. Wawa sucks. I lived in Delaware, dude. I've ate Wawa all the time. If I had to pick Sheets or Wawa, it's definitely Sheets. What's Delco? I'm at Cardinals fan. What's that? I'm at Cardinals fan. Do you mean I'm a Cardinals fan? We need a run stopper. Absolutely. Absolutely, Troy. No doubt. All right, guys, you got to double tap that screen. Hit that like button for us. Double tap it. Beat it up. Memberships are encouraged. Super chats are always available. We had an awesome night last night. We had lots of super chats last night. We need some more memberships, though. The night before, we had 40 gifted memberships. That was absolutely awesome. So I want to continue that theme. Let's continue that. It's definitely something to keep on moving on. Cardinals, you mean, are you talking about the Cardinals in baseball, or are you talking about the Cardinals in football? Yeah, it is Friday, Daniel. It's a little slower in here today. People are getting drunk, tuned up, hammered up. I need to turn down this light in front of me, guys, a little bit. It's blinding the shit out of me, and it's making me hot as hell, my friends. So I'm turning it down just a hair. I kind of like it better like this. I think I'm going to leave it like this. NFL? I'm sorry, man. You're a Cardinals fan. I'm sorry. That sucks for you. Liam, the Chiefs fan. George Pickens sucks. Okay. What do you want me to say? What do you want me to say? George Pickens sucks. Oh, okay. All right. Colin says, better to watch American football, more damage done. Rugby. Okay. Okay. I get you, Colin. I don't watch rugby, so I can't tell you. I don't know. I admire what they do, though. Out there with no pads, playing, hitting each other, going crazy. I admire what they do. I just don't watch it. I can't comment on something I don't know anything about. You know what I mean? I know American football. I know it well. I know it well, man. Rugby is for people who weren't good enough to play football. I don't know, man. Rugby's a sport that's usually played in other countries that's not really played here in America. So, I mean, naturally, I can't go sign my kid up right now at 10 years old to go play fucking rugby, booster league rugby. You know what I mean? Midget league rugby. It doesn't exist. Your thoughts on Russell Wilson going to the Steelers? He's not going to the Steelers. He signed with the Giants, Game Geek. What do you mean? Going to the Steelers? Buddy, what are you talking about? He's a New York Giant. He signed a 1-year, $21.5 million deal to play for the shitty Giants. Daniel Warman, I'm so happy to see Russ back in the chat. Yeah, Russ, we're definitely glad to see you, man. Make sure you email me, Russ, so we can get that fixed, dude. All right, guys, make sure you put your comments, questions, and concerns inside of the live chat. Yeah, some people use speak to text, man. What's up, Roberta? It's a Freestyle Friday, guys. It's actually a little bit refreshing. Not to be as busy as we have been all week here at the show. So it's a lot better when it's a little bit slower and a little bit chill, you know? Those lights were killing me tonight, man. I was like dying, sweating. This is better. Definitely better. Yeah, let's hit the shit out of that like button, though, guys, here on a Friday. I might even do a Saturday show. I'm going to see if Sean wants to do one with me. We'll see if Sean wants to jump in. And we're going to call it Membership Push Saturday. That's what we're going to try to do. We're going to try to have a show. We're going to try to push those memberships. I've been doing a little thinking about the channel, guys. And I know a lot of you right now that are in here are just OGs that have been here for a long time. I think the best way to increase this channel's reach and to increase my ability to put more and more and more and more time into it is through memberships. Again, it's 99 cents a month. The more we do that, the more that this channel can create in terms of revenue, and it doesn't cost the viewer really anything. 99 cents, it's $1 a month. I could walk around the street and find 10 cents a day just randomly hanging out and produce $1. So I feel like that's the most cheap, efficient way that if we build that membership, that's going to give this channel that next oomph, that next boost up there. You know what I mean? Because that way I can take those funds and continue to reinvest it back into the product. And I believe that we could just really take this thing over, man. I really, truly believe that. But I just think that's the best path to follow moving forward. Super chats are awesome, all that stuff. But I just love those memberships because that's consistent. That's month to month. That continues to build this channel. And it makes it so much more fun, man, to be able to put more and more and more and more time into it, more and more things. So, again, I'm working on some things outside of here, trying to bring some different perspectives in here for the draft, even possibly going on some other shows. I'm talking to some other people. We'll see how that all goes, man, definitely. But we try here at Mike Drop Sports. We try. Pittsburgh 412. Any Pirates fans in the chat? Thoughts on our Buccos? I think the Buccos are going to be a team that wins less than 80 games. That's what I think. Pittsburgh 412. Sadly, you have a generational talent in Paul Skeens, and you're just not going to be able to do much. They didn't invest in the right areas. The offense lacks too much to be anything, and the pitching staff as a whole, is it complete? I don't think so. It's really tough to envision the Buccos winning any more than 75, 77 games. What's in the flask, mate? That's coffee, bro. I wish it was something good. Roberta plus Za really don't think no matter what that the Steelers should draft. I really don't think no matter what that the Steelers should draft a quarterback in the first round. I think it should be in the late round or even undrafted. Yeah, I'm not into the undrafted quarterback stuff because I don't think you're going to find anybody there at all. I just don't think undrafted quarterbacks are the way to go. I mean, if it's somebody that's going to be a practice teamer or something, practice squad guy, cool. But if I'm putting my faith in trying to build a 53-man roster out and I'm trying to fill that third quarterback position, I can't put an undrafted rookie free agent quarterback in that spot. I just can't. There's just no way. Yeah, you can't do it. It's just too much. I'm down for the late, though, mid to late round guys, cool. But I just can't do the undrafted stuff. Yeah, that was a tough one. Wave that terrible towel for Miss Pittsburgh. Do you think the Pirates need a new manager? I think the Pirates need a whole new overhaul, period, man. They've needed one for years. I used to be absolute diehard, guys. Go to every game, man. I was there. I spent too much money in that damn park. And after that first initial, flow where they got back to the playoffs for the first time in 20 years and all that, and I just watched it literally fall apart yet again, and it was due to lack of effort by the ownership group, by the management, by the organization as a whole, in terms of trying to stay competitive. They weren't willing to reinvest all that money that we had put in as fans, going to those games, and the tickets weren't cheap. Going to all that stuff, and take a look at that Cueto game where Johnny Cueto dropped the ball on the mound when we were all screaming. I was there. I was in stadium, man, and we're all screaming, Cueto, Cueto. And he drops the ball, and Russell Martin tags one to deep left center field. Man, a little bit more left field than left center. But, man, that was right in front of me, kind of at the angle, straight down for me where that ball landed. It was just amazing. I was back in that corner. Man, that was amazing. But all that money that was dumped back into there, and not to try to win, not to try to produce a real winner, it totally ruined me, man. I used to watch the Pirates every night. In the summer, if you came into my house at 7:05, that Bucco game was on. Did I sit down and watch every second of it? No, but it was on every night in my house, and we would be all watching it. Everybody in my house would be all watching the Buccos periodically throughout the night, throughout that 9-inning campaign. And then where were we on the weekends? We were down there, man, right behind the dugout, rooting on the Bucks, man. Crazy, man. We need to stop with the arch talk for next year. With mediocre Mike here, we won't be in the position to grab him. That's from Doug P. Yeah, guys, that's what I keep saying. Everybody wants to just talk about the 2026 draft. And you know what, man? I cannot tell you what's going to happen there. Do I think it's going to be a better quarterback draft? Yeah, I do. But we're not there yet, guys. Why wish your life away? Let's just ride with right now. Does the long-term plan of the Steelers ride through 2026? I think so. But I think we just need to worry about the 2025 draft for now. Let's keep going, man. MLB should force the owners to sell the Buccos. It's a damn shame with that beautiful stadium. They still field a AAA team. Yeah, I agree, man. I agree. I agree. I like Tyler Shuck. Tyler Shuck's the answer, guys. Anybody that wants to doubt Tyler Shuck, if Tyler Shuck is put into the right situation, is drafted by the right football team that isn't going to just bury him on the depth chart, if he is drafted by a team that believes in him, that is going to give him an opportunity, barring any type of injury, Tyler Shuck is going to be a very good quarterback and is going to have a chance to kiss a sticky Lombardi trophy. I'm telling you, you cannot believe me. You can discount it and say, Jason, you're absolutely ridiculous and stupid. You can say that if you like. But I'm telling you, my friends. Let's keep going. We have a bunch of compensatory picks, which could help us move up next year, secure a better quarterback. I say we get weapons now. Yeah, man. Guys, too, the compensatory picks, we don't even know which ones where they're going to be. We don't know yet. And I can do the formula. I can tell you. We can figure it out, but it's all hypothetical because it's all going to be determined off of what that player makes that compensatory pick is for. So we just got to be cautious. Are they going to have a good many? They may have a ton. I believe they'll have 4 or 5, you know. We'll email you, Jason. What's mad wife called him? Oh, man, I hope you're better, man. Never mess around with your lungs, Russ. Remember, I fix lungs, bro. Don't mess around with your breathing and shit, bro. You can't fuck around with that stuff, my friend. We want to see you back in the chat. We want to see you here every day talking football, man. Do not mess around with that breathing stuff, man. It'll shut you down in a hurry, bro, and you won't be here talking Steelers. So, please, my friend, don't be mad at your wife for that. She did the right thing. She did the absolute right thing, and you're lucky to have her. Hold on, I dropped my pen. Yes, we are glad you're okay, man. Remember when you could go to the Pirates game at Three Rivers after 7th for free, abandon Pepsi cans all day? Yeah, dude. Yeah, I remember that. I used to go to the Buccos games in Three Rivers a lot, man. I remember one time I was at Three River Stadium with some friends from elementary school, and, man, I remember an Andy Van Slyke home run to right field where we were sitting, man. It was absolutely amazing, dude. I don't know why. I just remember that home run. I remember the smells in the ballpark. I remember it was a night game. I remember the sound off the bat. I remember everything about that hit for some reason. It was just one of those memories that is seared into my head forever, you know? Yeah, no smoking. Yeah, no smoking. I smoke way too much, man. I smoke too. Gary Reedus, yes, dude. I remember Gary Reedus, Chico Lean. Oh, I remember all those guys. Don Slott. What was his name? Spanky, the catcher. All right? Man, Gary Reedus, Chico. Oh, my boys, dude. Damn. Orlando Merced. You remember him? Man. Mike LaValliere, that was him. Yes, Pittsburgh 412. Yes. We need to do, man, I'm going to try to get back into baseball, man. Sean was into it for a little bit. I think I'm going to try to get back into it and put a show on here. I think, honestly, one channel I do admire here on YouTube that I do watch not as much as I'd like to, but is DK Pittsburgh Sports. I admire their channel and how they have it set up, covering Pens, Pirates, and Steelers. I think I want to make this channel similar to that, covering all 3 teams. I think that would be something really, really cool. I am working on now trying to figure out, man, I'll say it, but I shouldn't even say it, but I have been trying to figure out, because I feel like we've built Mike Drop Sports up a little bit. Like, I feel like we're legitimate. Like, we got some followers. We got all that shit. You know, we got subscribers. We do this every day. This is a monetized channel, blah, blah, blah. It's legitimate media. It's legit. It's paid media. So I'm trying to figure out, and I've been trying to go through the NFL website and trying to get into where I can figure out how to get a media credential. And I have asked so many people, well, not so many, a few people that are in the locker room that I've even had around, that I've talked to. And I've never been able to get a straight answer of who to contact, of like how to apply for this shit. I would love to apply. I've never been able to find out how to apply. All I want to do is be able to apply. But man, that's what I want to do. I want to be able to do that. Yes, I work in a hospital by trade, but I would like to be able to do this a lot more. Like shit, I could be working down in Pittsburgh hospitals and a game for the Pens comes on at 7:30. I could go from the hospital and go right there and cover a Pens game if I could figure out how to get these like credentials and shit, you know? That's what I want to do. But man, people just don't want to give you a little bit of a helping hand. I ain't asking you to do it for me. I'm just saying, like, tell me who to email. Where do I get the application? That's all I care about. What's up, Footsbig? Ricardo Ricone, extra inning no-hitter was my favorite game to ever attend in person in any sport. Heck, I'm a Phillies fan, and when I was a kid, Pops came over to a group of us kids and signed my hat at a Phil's game. That's awesome, man. Chicago Bears whiteout game in 2005. We won and never lost again. Won Super Bowl as a wild card. That Bears game was my second favorite game to ever go to. I remember that. That was the last 100-yard performance by Jerome Bettis, man. Ain't that crazy? The last 100-yard game. Do you remember the guys standing around the heater on the sidelines talking about, ride the bus, baby. Get on the bus, baby. Yeah, and the bus delivered. That was the biggest game, man, for the bus. Arthur Smith still the OC and Pat Myers still the offensive line coach. Yeah. I hear you, Jay. I hear you, man. Yeah, Footsbig, where the hell you been, man? Get your ass back in Steelers mode, Footsbig. Miss you, brother. I've tried, Footsbig. I've Googled it, and I found some email addresses, and they come back to be like invalid, so. I've asked Chris Carter a bunch. He's never given me a direct answer. He always says that he's been there for a while, so he just gets an email. That's all he ever told. That's all he told me. Yeah, I don't know. I wish, man. Are you talking about Brian Babco? Is that who you're talking about? I don't know him. I don't know any of those guys personally. Like, I've talked to Chris. Chris actually came on the show when I first started. I tried to get him back on, but he never answered me back. So maybe one day we'll be able to get him back on. But, you know, he's probably busy and shit. Like I said, I asked him before, and all he said was, you know, they usually email him, so he didn't know exactly who to contact. I know Brian 23. Yeah, I don't know him, Russ. I don't know him. I don't feel comfortable, though, asking some of these people if I don't know who they are. Like, the people I have, talked to, I've asked, and I've never been able to get, like, a real answer. So I don't know. And I'm not dogging anybody for it, but, man, I just want to know who to contact, you know? I would just like to be able to go and get some video and get some questions asked for you guys. Like, real questions, you know? And I respect the media. I do. I really, really do. And I know it's a very difficult job. I know it's probably one of the hardest jobs because you got to walk a fine line sometimes. But I feel like I would ask tough questions. And I don't know. Maybe I wouldn't. Maybe I would. I don't know. I would just like the chance to see. You know, and if it didn't work out, it didn't work out. That's why I went to college. So I had a real job. This is a job I want to do for fun. It's something I enjoy. So if it didn't work out, then oh well. Who cares? It is what it is. I know, I don't know, man. They do have their own media people, Jay, but media people, you can get press credentials and go into the locker room and shit. And I understand this, too. A lot of people don't want to help you out because you're direct competition. And you know what I mean? Because everybody has a YouTube channel. Everybody like that's in that locker room, they have their own stuff, and they have their own companies and all that stuff. And I respect it, man. I wouldn't want to cut my nose off. I wouldn't want to just invite people into where I make money. It is what it is. But see, here's my thing with this. And the reason why I'm so willing to help other creators and things of that nature is because I don't rely on this to support my family. You know what I mean? And that's what I mean. It may be different for other people when that's what they do and that's how they support their family and stuff, I got to figure it out, though. If anybody ever has any connects, let me know, man. I don't either, Sleeping Lady, and I think there's a lot of them out there, man. And I don't think either. You know what irritates me the most is, I don't know. What irritates me the most is some of those questions that are asked, dude. Unbelievable. It's unbelievable, And I'm not dogging anybody, but when you watch that Steelers media team that does all their shows, I don't watch it to see a pretty face. I watch it to get something about football. And if that pretty face knows something about football, then so be it. That's awesome. I want to hear what they have to say. But I don't want to hear somebody get up there and only be on there because they're a pretty face and regurgitate Mike Tomlin's sayings over and over and over and over and over again. I don't get any value out of that as a fan. And I don't think you do either. I want to hear real opinions about the football team. I want to hear real things that are going on with the football team. I don't want to hear about, Mike Tomlin said this week, yet again for the 16,000th time, we don't live in our fears. Coach Tomlin said so. And then these people are going and doing interviews one-on-one, and they're still asking these same dumb things, And I get it. They're probably predetermined questions. I get that shit. I get it. I get it. Sorry, guys. Somebody was at my front door. I was seeing who it was. It's so weird. I can watch my whole house from right there on my phone. I don't think Clickweed did that. Three Rivers shout out to the Cobra going to the Hall of Fame in July. Keep up the great work. Content. Thanks, Tim. Appreciate it. Yeah, it does bother me, though, and I'm not dogging Brooke Pryor. Brooke Pryor works for ESPN, and I'm not dogging her. This isn't like a beat down of Brooke Pryor. But, some of the questions she's asking sometimes, it's about Minka Ball. A summer ago, that's all you heard. Every time you heard her talk, it was about Minka Ball. That corny shit isn't what fans want to hear. That isn't what you want to hear as a fan. You want to talk about when somebody interviews George Pickens, they want to hear a question like this. Hey, George, in that press conference you gave, you said that you weren't optimistic about this offense moving forward. Is that true? Do you understand what the word optimistic means? That's what fans want to hear. Hey, George, on that play against the Kansas City Chiefs, you totally went half-ass and caused an interception in a big moment of that football game. What are your thoughts on that, and why are you going halfway and giving minimal effort, and you're supposed to try to be the number one target on this football team? Your thoughts, George? Those are the questions. Those are the things that people want asked. Broderick, what's going on? Why haven't you been able to be good this year? You've sucked so bad here in 2024, and we're wondering because in 2023, you were absolutely amazing. But in 2024, you were absolute dog shit. What was the reason, Broderick, that you attribute your poor play? And are you going to be able to step it back up in 2025? Was 2024 just a one-off? Your thoughts, Brod? Grow some nuts and ask these things. I don't want to be friends with anybody there. If a friendship blossoms, great. I ain't there to make friends. I'm there for you, the viewer. I want to get the things that you want to hear about. That's just my approach to it. And again, guys, I understand that there are probably rules. I understand that there are probably limits to the things they can ask. I get all that. But man, is it frustrating to hear dumb shit, To hear dumb shit over and over be asked. Yeah, I seen that. I've already filled it out, and they said that I got to be an everyday person inside there already. Well, how do you apply to be an everyday person inside there already when you're not inside there already? How do you apply to ever do it? It don't make no sense because I don't lie on the application. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna lie and say, yeah, I'm there every day. I'm not gonna, I'm not a liar like that. Well, I would ask Mike Tomlin, I would simply ask him, are you comfortable that since you had Bill Cowher's, the remnants of Bill Cowher's football team, that you have not been successful as a head coach since you've had that team? I don't call average seasons a success. What do you think, Mike? Are you more concerned with your mediocre bullshit? Or, I wouldn't ask it that way, but I'm just asking. I'm just saying, why don't you approach him and ask him? Does 10 wins and under mean more to you just so you can continue your record? Does that mean more to you than chasing Lombardi trophies? Because you have not been successful since you had the remnants of Bill Cowher's football team. True or false? I mean, ask the question. Start the conversations, Russell Wilson last year. Why didn't you just ask them as a reporter? Russ, we notice on this team, every time you guys are out there offensively, we notice the limited complexity of your scheme. We also know that you're unwilling to go across the middle of the field, yet we see wide open receivers there. But we don't see you trying to throw the football over the middle of the field. Is that due to your vertically challenged size or what? What's going on there? Why don't you attack the middle of the field? Your answer. I'm just saying, guys, ask these things. And that's what bothers me. That's what bothers me. And I'm not knocking anybody in particular. I'm not, because, again, I think it's hard. There's a lot of clickbait out there, but you know what, man? It's hard. Honestly, guys, it's hard to compete against those clickbait channels. Again, I built this thing up from no subscribers. I was the only one subscribed to this channel, and here we are, almost 5,000 subscribers. And I look at other channels, and they may have more subscribers than me, maybe a little bit quicker than me or whatever. But I don't compare myself to those channels because I feel like we have a really organic, OG, loyal group of people here that other people may not have. So I really value what we have here, man. I really, really do, man. And I know good things come to people that put in hard work and say the tough things. And I know getting out there and saying the things that may make others uncomfortable to say, I know that is good to do because that's what the fans want. Again, I'm not in the business or in this podcasting stuff or in this media stuff to make friends with anybody. I would like to be friends with people. I don't want to be like shady to anybody, but if it comes down to being buddies with somebody or going and getting the story for the viewer and giving you the truth, that's what I'm going to do. You know what I mean? Because I feel like you're owed that, Yeah, it's always better to be friends and shit with everybody, but man, I don't know. I've just made it to this stage of my life, man. I've lived long enough to where all that matters is the truth, and asking the tough questions would be okay with me. That's all I'm saying. I agree, Jay. I agree. Wave that terrible towel for Miss Pittsburgh, guys. I appreciate it, Miss P. Thank you guys for sticking around. It was a slow Friday. That's why I figured I could talk just about regular shit for a little bit. So, yeah, sorry if I bored you or whatever, but, yeah, I was just going off a little bit. But we'll get there, man. We'll get there. If anybody got any tips of who to contact, I would like to apply for a credential. We'll see. I would just like to get in there, man, and have a little access. I don't even care if it's a locker room access. I don't even need to be in the locker room. I just want to be able to be at the stadium, up in the press box, get a good view, be able to, see the game from a different angle. Just be able to cover the football team in an accurate way, man. That's all. All right, guys, I'm going to jump off here, man. We've been going for 78 minutes, almost 80 minutes. So, yeah, we'll try to jump on tomorrow. We'll see if Sean wants to, and we'll get it going, man. But until then, I'm Jason. This is Mike Drop Sports and the show Steel City Live. Hey, we might have hit 4,500 subscribers tonight. We'll see. Maybe we did. We'll see if we did or not. Let's see. Hey, we did. Congratulations, Mike Drop Sports. We hit 4,500 tonight. 500 more. Let's go. Let's go get that 5,000 subscribers, man. All right, guys. We'll see you tomorrow, man. See you.